Hi everyone, it's Tom. In this video I want to share with you a Google Drive shortcut that makes it a lot easier to manage your files in multiple locations. The example that we're going to use is with our lesson plan folder and how to make it so that you don't have to go ahead and upload the plans from some folder that you might have in your Google Drive to our department lesson plan folder. So to start off, we just have to make sure that everything's set with your Google Drive. First thing we'll do is we'll go to our department website, which hopefully you've got bookmarked. And the reason I'm doing this is it's so that we know how to navigate to the Google Drive folder that we all share. So you can open any recent department meeting agenda, and there's the link to our department Google Drive. So I'll just open that up. So here's all our files. And if I went and I looked at the drive currently, this is just a demo account. But you'll see that the Westfield Science Department folder, I don't have it in my drive. And really, it's a good idea to have it as part of your My Drive. It's very easy to do. So here I am, I'm back in our shared department folder. And all I have to do is click on that down arrow and say Add to my drive. And now if I want, this undo obviously undoes it, but organize, I can put it in different files. I could do that later. Just ignore that. But if I go back to my drive now, you'll see that there's our department folder. So every time you open my drive, the department folder is very easily linked, and that's a good thing. Now going back in and finding the lesson plan folder, it's right here. I choose the current year, and I'm going to use this as my example. So let's imagine that this was my lesson plan folder, and it's empty. I know I have plans, I've been making plans, but you know what? I forgot to upload them to our department folder. Why? It's an extra step. I get that. So you forget. It's an extra thing to do. That's the beauty of the shortcut I'm going to show you. It eliminates you needing to take that extra step. So we'll go back, and I want to find out where I put the plans in my drive. And you see I've got this nice little folder here, My Lesson Plans, and I open it up, and there's all my plans. What I want to do is make it so that my lesson plan folder in my drive, basically this folder right here, will automatically go to the department lesson plan folder without me having to do anything. This way I don't have to make copies, I don't have to move, I don't have to upload, none of that stuff. As long as I'm going ahead and putting my plans in my plan folder in my Google Drive, it'll show up in our department folder. And it's a really, really easy thing to do. It's a very powerful tool. You'll probably find other applications for this too. It's called Shift-Z. And what Shift-Z does is it adds your folder or your file to multiple locations across Google. Remember, Google's a search company. It's not actually making copies or doing anything like that. It's just telling your folders, there's a lot of stuff, it's in a bunch of different places, and it's making paths so it knows how to get there. Easy to do. So first thing is go over to the folder that you want to appear someplace else. Left click on it to highlight it. Don't right click on it. Left click on it to highlight it. And you go to the keyboard and press Shift and Z. And this window will open up. And it's basically asking you, where do you want to put it? And it's an add here. This button will turn on once we choose where we want to add it. So I'm going to say, okay, I want it to go in the department lesson plan folder. So I just have to find it. I know this is why I had you copy it to my drive. So there it is. It's in my drive. Now I have to find the lesson plan folder. There's the lesson plan folder. And then I have to just make sure I put it in the right folder. I have to find my current year lesson plan folder. And that's where I want to put it. So I click Add here. Now remember, this is Add. It's not Move, it's not Copy, it's just Add. I click Add there. It's telling me, hey, this is a shared folder. I know that. And I hit OK. So now, when I go to the lesson, if I care to, if I go to the lesson plan folder in our departmental drive, here it is, and I open that up, there's my lesson plan folder, and there are all my plans, and I don't have to do anything else. And so now if I come back here and I just go to my drive and I decide to make new plans. So let's say I'm going to make the folder for December. So 2017, I'm just using those numbers so things keep organized. And I hit create. What it does is I've created my lesson plan folder for December. That's all set. Remember, this is in my drive. Every time I open Google My Drive, I'm just using this folder. But if I check and I come down to the shared folder, it's gone ahead and added it for me. So I don't have to do anything. I really never have to go into this folder to add plans again, as long as I've got it mapped with this Shift-Z shortcut. Now again, just one small word of warning about this. Remember, you didn't copy anything. You didn't move the files. You're just letting those files exist in two different places. You know, there are two different ways to get there. So you're either going to get to them through My Drive, or you could also get through them through our shared Drive lesson plan folder. Now, the reason that that's important is if you make a change. So if you come up here and you say, you know what, I'm going to delete this folder, and you hit remove, it'll take it out of your drive. It will also take it out of your lesson plan folder. So it's not a copy. So whatever change you make to something you move with, or I'm sorry, not move, but something that you add with Shift-Z, if you make a change in one location, you make a change in another location. Think of it like a mirror. You know, basically anything that you do in front of the mirror is going to be reflected in the mirror. So you raise your hand, the image in the mirror, your hand goes up. Your hand goes down, hand goes down. So you might be wondering, how do I know where my folders are? Maybe they're in 30 different places. Really simple. If make sure that you have this details button turned on over here. Come over, click on the folder you're interested in, and make sure it's set to, like, the activity will tell you what's been happening with it, but go to details and it'll show you all of the different locations that this is in. So right now I can see that my lesson plan folder, it's in my drive. That's good. That's where I want it, but it's also in this shared folder. Remember, that's what that little person in the folder icon is. It's telling me that it's also in our shared folder. If I want to take it out of our shared folder, I can hit remove. That's the only way to basically take it away from another location. So I'll go ahead and hit X, and then to check, I'll go back and say, I wonder if it actually disappeared from there. And sure enough, it's gone. If I would have just gone in here and hit the delete or the remove key, it would have deleted it everywhere, and that's not what you want, because you still would want to keep it in my lesson plans. So hopefully this helps. There's another way to do this. So if you're happy with how this is, stop the video now. But I'll show you the other way to do it is to take the folder that we've created for you, or the one that you've already been using with your last name in our shared Google Drive lesson plan folder, and you can Shift-Z it so that it shows up here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go back to the lesson plan folder, and I'll use this one. If I just want to add this folder, I highlight it. Now remember, don't right click it, because if you right click it, you get these options, and add to is not there. Add star is not the same thing as add to. So there's no option to do this Shift-Z type move in the right click menu. So you left click, hit Shift-Z, and then in this case you would say, well, I just want to put it in my drive. And I hit add, and then when I go back to my drive, I see there it is. So why would you want to do it this way? Well, if you've already got all your lesson plans established in our shared folder, and it's easier just to share that folder with your drive, and then from now on you would go ahead and you would use this folder to go ahead and update everything. That might be the easier task. So either way, Shift-Z lets files basically exist, makes paths to them in multiple folders, so that every time you update something, you only have to do it once. It's a very powerful tool. It's something that you'll probably, after you get used to it, it's probably going to be something that you're going to want to use with your students. Listen, some of you are probably doing this already, because as you have multiple classes, you go ahead and make multiple files that you want to share across classes, and depending on, imagine your Google Drive, you have a file structure that's set up so that each one of your classes has a different folder. And if you want to give the same assignment to each class, you can have it show up in each one of those folders. Now, I know Google Classroom takes care of a lot of that stuff, but everybody's sort of got a different situation in how they manage their Google Drive. But Shift-Z is a very powerful tool. I hope it's helpful, and I hope it saves you a little bit of time and prevents you from having to do something simple like constantly making sure that your plans are uploaded in our department lesson plan folder. This way you put your plans into your regular plan folder, it's Shift-Z'd or added to our department folder, and you're good to go. So if you have any questions, reach out. I'd be happy to help. Take care.